Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do a discussion video that pertains to my thoughts, my expectations on how the Fairy Tail manga will transpire in the year 2013. Now, that being said, very simple, very straightforward. The first thing, the most obvious thing. Right now, we are at the end of the Grand Magical Games. And I told you, and I'm very serious, okay? If the next arc of Fairy Tail is a okay, subpar, or bad and below arc, then I will drop Fairy Tail. This next arc of Fairy Tail, it has to be at least good. It has to be at least good for me to maintain a level of interest in the series of Fairy Tail. That simple. It is that simple. Now, when I say this, is it possible? Maybe. But is it likely? Probably not. And the reason why is very simple. The writer Hiro Mashima, right now he is focusing on not just Fairy Tail, but another series which he's writing. So, right there is an automatic worry. Because the writer himself is not fully invested in the story Fairy Tail. And this occurred around the end of the Tenrojima Island arc, which is why the end of that arc was pretty shit. It was pretty much shit. And what I will say is that when he, in an interview, when he said that I will continue to write Fairy Tail as long as people watch it or read it, that to me is very simple. He will continue to write Fairy Tail as long as he makes money. Money, money, money. So if the writer himself is not fully invested into the series Fairy Tail, and if the writer himself is writing it now solely because it makes him money, then what the fuck is the point of me devoting a majority of my time and a majority of my a majority of my time to Fairy Tail if the writer himself is not doing so? So fuck it. I mean, hey, all I'm gonna say is that writers, they write one manga and they are stressed, they are in a situation where they're being pressured by their editors, by the companies to write their series on a timely fashion. Some writers only get 3 hours of sleep a day from writing one manga. So when you're doing two, yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. So Hiro Mashima, if you yourself are not fully invested in the series Fairy Tail, then why should I waste my time and be fully invested into the story of Fairy Tail? I don't see it. So if in fact this next arc is bad, if it's okay, if it's subpar or below, I'm dropping it. It's that simple. Now, that being said, when it comes to the story itself, this arc, I don't really care. I don't care. This arc, I do not give a rat's ass anymore. All I'm going to say is, now that we see the future Lucy, she may die in this current arc, which I don't care. Because the future Lucy isn't the main Lucy. I would really like to see both future Lucy and main Lucy die. But that's not happening. That is not happening. I know it's not happening, alright? In my opinion, the only thing that can save this arc, maybe, when I say save, I mean give it okay. Like a rating of okay. Because it's already bad. The only thing that can save this arc of Fairy Tail is if we have a really good intertwining plot between Kagura and Erza and Jalal. But will that happen? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. Because right now we see the plots of Erza and Kagura coming together, but Jalal is nowhere in the picture as of yet. So, and Jalal, in my opinion, he is quintessential to both Kagura and Erza. and that one other girl too. I forgot her name. The one who was captured by, the one who was taken hostage by Minerva. But aside from that, I do not see this arc being saved, and mainly because one of the things about the Eclipse Plan that I was really looking forward to when I found out was the involvement of the Celestial Spirits themselves. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Apparently, the princess, she opened the fucking gate already. All you need to do is push open the door by human hands. What the fuck? So you're telling me that all you needed was the keys. You didn't really need a celestial mage. All you needed was the fucking 12 keys. And which means that the involvement of the dragons is probably low. It's probably very, very low. Like, I was hoping that we see some shit of Igneel, Grandine come in there. I don't know. Some dragons. Aside from Acnologia. But no. We got like one dead dragon come out, talk about the past, and that was it. Which was good, but not enough. Not nearly enough. So this arc, in my opinion, it is beyond saving. And the only thing that could possibly save this arc in Fairy Tail right now is the intertwining plots of both Jalal, Erza, and Kagura coming together in some big-ass clusterfuck. Which probably would be a good-ass clusterfuck. But will it happen? I don't know, because Jalal right now, he's out of the picture. And the Eclipse Plan is already a bust, so fuck it. And right now, their goal is to get back into the past. And I'm not too sure, but definitely Natsu, Erza, Gray, and Lucy, and Wendy will be the ones who go back, and Gaji will be the ones who go back into the past. The rest of the guild, like Laxus, like Juvia, Makarov, I'm not too sure. But whatever, who cares? Now, and by the way, the fights right now, they're looking pretty solid. I mean, right now, the best fight that seems to be occurring is Laxus versus Orga. But I'm not too sure how that'll go. Hopefully, that's a good fight. But again, we'll see how that goes. And when I say good fight, I'm talking about like what, 2 chapters at least. Now, when it comes to the next arc of Fairy Tail, basically it's gonna be the meeting up of Zeref and trying to kill Zeref. But will that be successful? I'm not too sure. The same thing goes for Acnologia. I'm not too sure. And the reason why is because when we see Zeref in the Tenrojima Island arc, he already knew Natsu. Which means that because he's still alive during the Tenrojima Island arc, and because he knew Natsu, this may mean that Natsu and the rest, they fail at killing Zeref. And because Acnologia still exists, they failed at killing Acnologia. That's number one. Number two is this may also tie in. The next arc may somehow tie in to the reason as to why Natsu is considered to be fairly old in human time. And if you guys remember, during the arc where Laxus tried to destroy Magnolia, and Freed had put Makarov in a barrier where people who were over the age of 80 couldn't leave, well, Natsu and Gajil, they couldn't leave. And I don't know why. Now, this may be a Dragon Slayer thing, or it may somehow involve the Eclipse Plan and the gate which they passed and go back into the past 400 years. And this may also deal with the actual, because I was talking about how humans can turn into Dragon Slayers. I mean how Dragon Slayers can turn into humans. Well, this may be the same thing in like a death and rebirth cycle, where Dragon Slayers transform into dragons, and then the dragons revamp themselves as humans later on in their lifespan. Or maybe the dragons themselves are immortal. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Because Igneel, I'm pretty sure, is old as piss shit. And I'm not too sure if he's immortal or if he can live for a very long time naturally. I'm not too sure. But what I will say is that this material, this information, should be relevant and prevalent when it comes to the next arc, because it will explain a lot of things that took place prior to the Tenrojima Island arc when it came to the Dragon Slayers And the reason why, in human scale time, they are very, very old. At least over the age of 80. Now, what I will say is that the main thing here, the main question, the main thing about the whole entire Eclipse plan that I find very iffy is that, yes, the Eclipse plan, it does get them back into the past 400 years. The question here is how will they get back into the actual future, to the present time? How will that happen? I don't know. I have no idea. There may in fact be a coinciding gate that takes them to the future, or they may have to spend the rest of their lives in the actual past. I don't know. I have no idea. But what I will say is that this is where the celestial spirits may be relevant. But again, I'm not too sure. I have no idea. But what I will say is that hopefully, and whether or not the celestial spirits maintain their cognitive notions of Lucy, Natsu, Erza, and Gaju in present time when they're in the past, I have no idea. But what I will say is that how Hiro Mashima is going to depict all these intertwining plots and these loopholes, well, it's going to be fairly interesting, fairly unique, and he could pull it off, and he could make a fairly good arc. He could make a fairly good arc, and hopefully he will. But as of right now, as of late, considering the fact that right now he is working on another manga aside from Fairy Tail, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. And I can't say much. Because right now, this arc so far, with Jalal being trolled, with bad fights, like Bacchus, Jalal, Raven Tail as a whole, fail, shit, Natsu, Sting, and Rogue, Lecter. This arc right now is beyond hope, and hopefully the next arc is much better, a good arc. Because Fairy Tail, before the Tenrojima arc, I really liked this. I really did. I liked the series. I enjoyed the series. It was a good series. It was a good, worthwhile series. It had great potential. It really did. But now, I can't say shit. So I'm done. King Lightning, be sure to, of course, rate, comment, and subscribe as always. And I'm signing out. Peace. Have a nice day. And give me your thoughts down below on how you would think the Fairy Tail manga will transpire in the year 2013. Peace. Have a nice day.